You run home to take the phone off the hook so that the peoples from your school can call home and tell your mammy who been at work that you ain't been to school in 30 damn days. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Y'all, I haven't been promoting the site recently because I've just been so busy working and doing these videos. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's recap and review Patti Labelle's Don't Block Your Blessings. Revelations of a Lifetime. This day had been planned for weeks. We were shooting the video for my single, If You Asked Me To. Everything was in place. We were all set to go and everyone was waiting for me. The camera started rolling, the music began to play. It was time for me to perform. As I moved to my mark, I could feel all eyes following me. I knew what they were thinking. It was written all over their faces. Could I do it? Would I be able to hold it together? The night before, my husband had asked me if I wanted to cancel this shoot. I told him no. I had to do this. It didn't seem at the time that I'd ever feel better, and I had to find a way to push past the pain. My husband had come in case I needed him. So had my youngest son. But when the shoot began, it was just me standing all alone in the spotlight, dressed in black. It was the first time I would shoot a video solo without anyone else in the scene. And I had never felt so alone in my life. That was as it should have been, because I was alone in my pain and there was no one else to blame for it. Baby, the snoring, baby, go, hit the, okay, but who's so confused like, what, mama? That was as it should have been, because I was alone in my pain and there was no one else to blame for what I was feeling but me. At that point, I felt that she was being a little hard on herself because she didn't know what was going to happen, okay? But I'll move forward. This was my sister's birthday, July 12th, 1989. Had she lived to see it, she would have been 44, but she didn't make it. As everyone in the room knew, I had buried her just the day before. Her sister had asked her, Patti Labelle, to make her an egg sandwich. It ain't nothing but egg, I think it's a boiled egg, mayonnaise, and some seasoning. And you put it on a white bread. And I'm telling you, it's like the most spectacular thing you have ever tasted. I think I've had one in the past, I want to say 30 years, maybe one time. And I just did it recently because I was thinking about my grandmother. But anyway, her sister, who was struggling with cancer, had said, come on, sister, make me an egg sandwich. Patti Labelle's response was, girl, I'm too tired. I'll do it later. After that phone call, my sister got worse, much worse. And later never came. She was on a respirator and in and out of consciousness. Days after that call, she died. The thought kept tormenting me, that I had refused to do the one thing she asked of me, the one thing that could have given my sister some small amount of pleasure as she was about to leave this world. That's all I could think about as I gave the director the signal I was ready to begin. Maybe I was being punished. Maybe I deserved to be. Maybe it was poetic justice that I would have to sing this song, these words, this day. If you asked me to, I just might change my mind. I couldn't hold back the tears. The more I sang, the more I thought about what I had done, what I hadn't done, what I would never be able to do again. The more I thought, the harder I cried. Those tears you see on that video, there's nothing phony about them. They're real. May 23rd, 1994. It was a night I'll never forget. The eve of my 50th birthday. I had always been convinced I'd die before I was 44. And even when I made it to my 45th birthday, I thought I had as much chance of living to see 50 as I had of living to see 150. I wasn't being paranoid, not at all. My belief was based on family history, on facts and figures, dates and data, on nature's arithmetic, not mine. You see, not one of my 3 sisters lived to see her 44th birthday. Not Vivian, not Barbara, not Jackie. Neither did my best friend, Claudette. I watched all 4 of them die, every single one of them eaten alive by cancer in the prime of her life. I saw the worst happen to the best. One day they were young and beautiful and planning their futures. The next, it seemed they were weak and weary and planning their funerals. In between, I stood by helplessly as diabetes and Alzheimer's claimed my mother and father before their time. Let me get a minute, y'all. Some of y'all in the comments was like, Nay, I cried so much in that book. Man, now I see why. I'm on page number 5, and I'm already ready to bust out in tears, y'all. But we're going to get through this book. We're going to get it. It's just that this book resonates so much with me because my mom died at 52. I'm now 52. That's why for so long, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake my fear of dying. I thought about it day and night. When it would come, how it would take me, all I would leave behind. How can I explain how real death was to me? For the longest time, I refused to even hope that I would be the lucky one, the only one of my mother's 4 daughters to beat the family curse. Hope hurt too much. I learned that each time I put someone else I loved in the ground. When I got too crazy, my husband tried to reason with me. Other than a slight heart murmur, I was healthy as a horse. Hadn't all my doctors told me so? In my head, I knew he was right. But where it counted, in my gut, I couldn't shake the feeling that death was just toying with me. Of course, the crazy thing was I had so much to live for. Most people who have spent as much time as I have thinking about death feel as if they have nothing in life. As my husband always reminded me, I had plenty. Everything anyone could want and more. A wonderful marriage, 3 beautiful sons, money, fame, a fantasy career that filled my life with so much joy. I had seen every dream I'd ever had come true. I had toured the world, sold out Broadway, starred in my own primetime television special and series. I had sung everywhere that was anywhere, from the Olympia Theater in Paris to New York Carnegie Hall. This is where I'm going to ask you all to look inside. And I know some of you feel like your life was meh, or wasted, or you just don't feel fulfilled or accomplished. What I need you to do is really look back at some of the times you had in your life, even just the small moments where You took time as a child and enjoyed playing without thinking about maybe your parents arguing or some kind of abuse you may be suffering, or maybe the fact that you know that you about to be found out that you done skipped out on school like 17 times. You run home to take the phone off the hook so that the peoples from your school can call home and tell your mammy who been at work all goddamn day that you ain't been to school in 30 damn days. Or you done lost your house key again and your mammy done told you for the 13th time that if you lose your house key again, you might as well find a new place to live. Can't come back here no more. Just take the smallest moment that you can find, even if it's you going somewhere and enjoying a steak, going to a museum, sitting on your porch, enjoying the day, a great time that you had with your best friend. Think how special that time, that moment was in your life, and focus on those little moments so that you won't look back at your life and feel so defeated. You know, like I had to get there. I had to realize that I have always been a special child, despite the neglect, despite the abuse, despite me feeling abandoned or alone. I really did have a good life, despite all. So imagine my surprise when I actually made it to 50. I'll never forget it. The night before my 50th birthday was one of the most vivid, most amazing experiences of my life. I remember everything about it. Lighting the candle in the bedroom of my LA condo to fill the room with a golden glow. Lying awake, watching the clock, staring out at the Hollywood hills stretched out like a blanket below my window. I felt this incredible calm and peace. At last, it was complete. It was total. It was absolute. I felt as if I had finally been released. After all those years of begging God for answers, I realized that He had been answering me all the time. In every song I sang, in every person I touched, in every spirit I lifted. At last, the messenger was getting the message. I hadn't been preparing to die at all. I was learning to live. Word. This book is about me, who I am, who I've been, all that I hope to be. My soul, my sorrow, my secrets, the deepest ones, the darkest ones, the ones I wasn't even sure I was ready to admit to myself. So here it is. This is what you've been asking for. A front row seat to the show, a backstage pass to my world, the life and times of Miss Patti Boom Boom. Is not an autobiography, not a traditional one anyway. It is a confession of all the things I've done and all the things I wish I hadn't done. It is a song, a bittersweet hymn dedicated to my family, my fans, my friends. This is not a life story as much as it is a lesson in life. How to endure it, how to accept it, how to embrace it. This book is not a journal, but a journey. I was a homely little child, just as funny looking as I could be. When I heard Maya Angelou say how ugly she felt as a little girl, I wanted to call her right up and say, "Girlfriend, you too?" Maya said she was certain that a cruel fairy stepmother had turned her into a too big Negro girl with nappy black hair, broad feet, and a space between her teeth so big it would hold a number 2 pencil. Well, Maya didn't have a thing on me. Only I didn't have nappy black hair. Mine was red. And it wasn't my feet that was broad, it was my nose. Of course, a big nose was 1,000 times worse than big feet. At least you can hide big feet in some big shoes. but there was absolutely nothing you could do to hide a nose like mine. It was always there, front and center, right between the eyes.
Taking a ride on the east side, made a left on MLK. What a beautiful day, what a beautiful day. Riding high on the west side, looking for a hood rat to play. Won't you come out and play, won't you come out and play? Hey, taking a ride, hey, hey, on the south side, ooh, ooh, hey, hey, hey.